Hello, my name is Nicole, and thank you so much for taking the time out to listen. Today, I'm talking about deathbed confrontation. Deathbed confrontation. Somebody's dying, and you mean to tell me that there are individuals that's going to show up in a hospital room or wherever they are and start just reading them the riot act? Yes. Sometimes these sorts of things take place, and God allows the deathbed confrontation, the deathbed debate, the argument. The person is dying, and rather than them die in peace, they're going to hear from their sons, their daughters, their grandchildren. They're going to hear from those individuals who haven't seen them in a long time. And the confrontation is not, of course, going to be so loving, sweet, and kind like what we see on film. There have been those individuals who have been hurt so bad by a dying relative that they had to be escorted out of those rooms. The hurt came to the surface. They were okay for days, weeks, and months, talking to the individual who is dying, being respectful and polite and caring. And then one day they blow up. And for them, the healing begins. Doesn't begin for the one who keeps everything in. Doesn't begin for the person who sweeps things under the rug. Doesn't begin for the person who likes to ignore and pretend as if nothing ever happened. Do we encourage the disrespect, the anger, the upset when someone is dying? Absolutely not. But we know this sort of thing does take place. To keep myself out of the grips of the enemy who tempted me to want to show up and show out, I stood back. Some people don't get that. They don't understand because they haven't gone through what you've gone through. They don't know your story. They don't know the misery that you endured. They don't know the depression. They don't know the things that you swept under the rug. The things that you said, oh, I'll just forgive and forget. And you thought you forgave, and you thought you forgot until something happens, until that person is ill, until you start to reflect on all of what they put you through. So my choice is my choice. I don't have the deathbed confrontation if I can help myself. I don't get on the phone and start talking about all things ugly and unrighteous with the dying. I prefer to keep my distance. You see. Now some people, they got a lot that they need to share. They got a lot that they need to be free from. And they say, well, maybe it's not a good idea to show up at the hospital. Maybe it's not a good idea to show up at the house. I know so-and-so is going to be there, and they're probably going to tell me not to go up there and start any mess. So what do I do? God, He provides all sorts of ways for us to free ourselves from what it is that that person or persons have done to us over the years or to others that we very much loved. What you can do is you can write about it. You can talk about it to a counselor. You can go through meditation, if you will, where there's the peace that you need. You can go through a deliverance ministry because you may even be picking up on some demons within and around. But what you don't want to do is lose it. Because sometimes people may not lose it while the person is above ground, but they lose it when they're under the ground. They start to take out all of what they should have taken out on that person while they were alive, on their children and their spouses. She was never the same after her mother died. He was never the same after his father died. There was something that was strange, that was weird, as he or she learned that the parents or grandparents or cousin or sister or brother or whoever was dying. They started becoming very mean. I've come across those individuals. Started talking violently. I'm not going to be the punching bag for you. I'm not going to be the listening ear for you. I'm not going to pretend as if everything was always sweet and nice and good, or that everything was always bad and ugly. I'm just going to distance myself. You see, and that's why you get some of the family members who they don't want to hear all of that. They got their share of issues that they had with that dying person. But what about when the person isn't dying? We haven't even gotten to the deathbed, right? We haven't even heard about the illness. What about those that you got issue with right now who you haven't heard anything about them dying yet? But you know sooner or later it's coming because they're getting older and you're hearing about the health ailments, but they're strong right now. What do? Well, this would be the best time to confront that person. That way you won't be accused of being that cold-hearted, cold-blooded individual that wants to go up to the hospital and start cursing people and telling them everything they did wrong. No. If you feel so moved to have that conversation and that conversation might turn ugly, it's better to do it while they got breath in their body and they still are mentally and physically strong. You don't want to do it when they start having the signs of dementia and Alzheimer's and all of that because, well, they might even remember all the good about you and forget about everything that you may have said and done that hurt them. And so, well, that would be a one-sided argument, wouldn't it? Because I don't remember what I said to you or what I did to hurt you. But for those that you know that they got all their senses about them, and you know that you've got some unresolved issues, and you know that this thing has been pressing on you for quite a long time, you might as well just go head on and say what needs to be said in a polite, respectful manner. Of course, those who are from the old school, no matter how you say it, they're going to take offense to it because they're never wrong and everybody else is right. And they did a good job being the best parent and the greatest friend and whatever else that they're not going to admit to their mistakes. Get ready for it. Get ready for it. But as long as you get those things off your chest, rather than redirecting your anger, your misery, your upset, your depression onto people around you that don't know you like that, who didn't experience those sorts of things, why are you tripping? I don't know why I'm tripping. I'm just mad. Well, then you need to take your madness out on your daddy, not on me, says the husband. If you are that upset and that angry, you don't need to be taking it out on your wife. You need to take it out on the mother then. Well, I don't want to be disrespectful. It's better that you go that direction than to come over here and hurt us because, see, there's a price to pay when you do that sort of thing. People lose their children. They lose their homes. They lose their cars. They lose jobs. They lose their health even. You got people who are sick on the inside oftentimes because they just don't want to open up their mouths and talk about anything. They end up having heart attacks, anxiety issues, and whatever else because, well, I swallowed a lot. I kept ignoring what was being done to me. I thought that it was okay and all right to treat me this way. And God himself is saying, no, it's not okay to treat yourself this way by holding everything in. If you can't talk, because I know some people get tongue-tied, well, I don't know about all that. Well, you can write. You can put a letter in the mail. You can send an email. Well, they might share it with everyone. So what? And you'll probably be more careful about what you say because they might share it with everyone. I know I had to get some things off my chest when I heard some news and it was involving my children. I said, wait a minute, I got a choice. I could pick up the phone. No, I don't want to do that. I'm going to write this out. And this way I have time to sit back and really pay attention to what I'm writing. And no, there's just no way that I'm not going to be able to offend someone in this letter, but I'm going to write this thing out. Because this is ridiculous. This is crazy. I can't believe that this person dropped this information on me like this. Or on my children. Okay. Sometimes you got to be that voice for the voiceless. Because sometimes it's not about you. But it's about those people who you are responsible for. We got to have this dialogue. Because you can't keep doing this to my daughter, my son, to my husband, to my wife. You can't keep doing this to my friend, to my brother, to my sister, my cousin. This is ridiculous what you're dropping on us. You see, it happens. So for some of you all, you haven't gotten there yet. You suspect, you may have even had a dream. God may have even revealed. You don't have much time. to get some things off your chest. You might need the mediator, a third party that's going to be in the room, because some folks like to lie. You might have to wear some type of audio device because some people just aren't going to be straightforward with others, but they may be straightforward with you. But then those individuals may not believe. So now you got the audio, and you don't reveal the audio until the person passes away. You don't reveal all of what you know. Not to those who you know are flying monkeys. That would be ridiculous, because now you're not just dealing with that one person, you're dealing with everybody else. So you got to get the type of mediator that is not biased. They may turn on you because they don't like what you're saying. That one who is the middleman, the middlewoman. They may say that you're really the one that's at fault. You are the one who did this, that, and the other. Get ready for the blame. Get ready for the shame. You might have somebody who's violent that's around, who overheard what you said, or don't like the tone of your voice, or what have you. That's when you need to just walk away. I got to walk away. It's not that you're a coward. It's just that you don't want to end up in jail. Listen, I don't want to put my paws on anybody. I just want to say what I need to say. They may feel threatened by you. They may think that you might jump on them because you might have that type of personality. You might have a reputation. He's not coming over here in peace. He's coming over here to put his paws on somebody. Maybe not. Right? Let's hope, if you're a believer, you don't do this sort of thing. And even if you're not a believer, we don't want folks in jail. That's why I have these audios. I want you to think before you go out here and do. God himself speaks to me and says, there's somebody out here that's contemplating on confronting someone. And this person just might lose his or her freedom or life. You got to get on that audio and speak some wisdom to him or her. And so here we are. But yes, we don't want folks to show up bedside, ready to take the tubes out of somebody's nose. That would be murder. Well, they're dying anyway. That would be murder. We don't want people showing up and wanting to exact revenge on others. Right? But you just don't know, Nicole, what all I went through. We don't want people to exact revenge. Notice I said people. I didn't say God. Uh-oh. I didn't say God. God is still fighting our battles. When we're in the right, God fights our battles. You hear me? When a person is sitting up there and they're cursing us, even though they don't look like they're ready to pass away, suddenly they get the news. You don't sit up there and say negative things about the people of God, the evil stuff and whatever else that you want to put upon righteous people. The unrighteous, I get it. But the righteous folks that you know that they've gone through a lot, they're on the right path. They're not out here stealing, creeping, lying, cheating, acting crazy, being a gossip or the wimpy, wishy-washy, crazy individual. They're not doing any of it. They're just trying their best to live their lives. And maybe they don't necessarily include you. You don't go after them. Maybe some people who are listening to this audio are really the ones who are in the wrong, and who that person may be the one that needs to confront you. And they may be contemplating on that. But whatever the case may be, I feel like this. If you do have to be the one to be confronted, you can simply say, you got your peace. That's what you were after, right? When you came and you told me all those things. Now, you got to go. And then you move on about your life. You don't need to defend yourself, because sometimes the people who are confronting you, they don't know all of why you do what you do. Okay? They got a skewed image. They got a skewed vision. They have a warped opinion. Somebody else may have put some things in their head, the reason why they're coming at you in the way that they're coming. They didn't bother to ever listen to your side of the story. They had their preconceived notions as to why you should have done this, that, and the other. So they come and they confront you, and they don't, once again, know all the details. And you don't have to give them all the details. That's the beauty of getting older. You see, when you're younger, you feel like you got to explain and defend and all that because, well, you come up out of that environment, right? Where you had to listen to all these adults and And now you don't have to listen so much, and you start to become a bit rebellious and want to be disrespectful and all that. When you're younger, you do those sorts of things. When you get older, you say, you know what? Is this really going to benefit me in some kind of way by defending myself? I don't owe this person any type of explanation. I don't even need to go over there and confront anybody or debate. I don't need to pick up the phone, contrary to what other people thought I should have done way back when. No, I don't need to pick up the phone. Oh, you're so this and that. Just because all of you all want to be in that snare. All of you all want to be fighting with individuals. All of you all want to deal with the negativity and the pessimism. Don't you know a lot of times those people who befriend or defend some of these folks in the family, they're defending the enemy. They're fighting up against the enemy. They don't know, though, that that's the enemy. Or they choose not to see that that family member or friend that has given them money or time or what have you is really indeed an enemy. I listened to the conversations. I heard who was friend and I heard who was foe. And yet these same people came around with their tails between their legs, acquiescing to some of these folks, appeasing them. And I thought to myself, how long do you play this game with these people? You can't get money elsewhere. You can't get time and attention and affection elsewhere. You're not confronting them on the things that offend you. You're still going around here thinking that people that so-called love you are good people. And the truth of the matter was that it was so far from the truth. A lot of the people that I had been around, they did not care. They did not care. They said they cared, but they did not care. At the end of the day, they were talking some negative talk. They used people, abused people, and then still expected them to be loyal. Some of the most toxic people, and I can't name names, but they know who they are. And some of their victims that don't want to face the truth for what it is. I guess they'll face that truth when those toxic folks are on their backsides. I guess they'll face the truth after they're under the ground. I guess that's how it goes down for those. But for some of you all, God is saying that He's giving you the release to say what needs to be said before eyes are closed. If you happen to come across this audio, whatever it is that you need to say it before eyes are closed. Whatever it is that you're supposed to do, you are supposed to do it before eyes are closed. My best advice is to do what is righteous, what is true, what is holy, not what is argumentative, debasing, disrespectful, ugly, controlling. That is not the God that we serve. He does not want us to be working for the enemy. And if you don't have anything good to say, as one person or many people in my life said, then don't say it at all. Just don't say it. Distance yourself, right? Thank you as always for taking the time out of your schedule to listen. Please do check the description box for anything that might be of interest. You've been listening to YouTube Interim Enterprise 7. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment, and we do welcome giving. Blessings to you.